is Peter Towers, the CEO of ESS BIZTOOLS. Welcome to this webinar offering business advisory services. We've already had 2 webinars and some of you have participated in those. So what we've done so far, we've given consideration to business advisory services. We've analysed what needs to be done to introduce business advisory services. This has included an analysis of current business advisory practices within your firm, and the necessity to review your current performance, primarily to understand what revenue you might already be earning from business advisory services. Partners need to be evaluated to determine their feeling about business advisory services. Team members need to be interviewed to understand if they want to be involved in business advisory services, or do they wish to continue to do tax returns, audits, superannuation fund work. Not everyone will want to do business advisory services. It's very important that the firm identifies succession planning that might be needed. Clients need to be classified to determine who are A and B class clients, who are the clients that you can potentially see some growth from offering business advisory services. And then there needs to be interviews done with the A and B class clients to ascertain what they might be interested in finding out. You also need to review the various products and services that could be offered under business advisory services, so that you can analyse clients into industry groups and to work out whether you wish to specialise in any particular industries. So you'll then have a list of the key products that your accountancy business could offer as part of business advisory services. And then the business can review a report that someone within the firm, a partner, a senior manager or a consultant may have prepared on whether the firm should go into business advisory services. So what we're going to concentrate on today, having come through the organisation process over 2 previous webinars, is what have you got to do to get organised for business advisory services. The first thing we believe has to be done is the balanced scorecards, questionnaires need to be completed by each individual team member and partner. This will give you a sound understanding of what the thoughts are of your team as to where the firm currently stands relative to being able to offer new and varied services. And then you need to be able to conduct a think tank meeting to have a full and frank discussion on the strengths and opportunities and threats from going into business advisory services. So the material today is assisting firms to get organised for business advisory services and to determine the accountancy business's readiness. Whether it's a full-time position or a part-time position, we recommend that each accountancy business contemplating going into business advisory services appoints a business development manager. Someone needs to be in charge of this process. Now this could be a partner or a manager or an external consultant type person. The business advisory services will not occur in a vacuum. You need someone to drive it, and drive it with a passion. So the duties of the business development manager would include marketing and seminars relative to business advisory services, media releases so that the media in your local community is able to promote the fact that your firm is offering real business services. Negotiating arrangements with affiliates, discussions with industry groups that you may have decided that you wish to have a closer relationship with, and perhaps making arrangements to write some articles for that industry group from an accounting, business finance perspective as to what's happening in that industry. A good candidate for this at present would be the beef cattle industry, which in Northern Australia at present is in total confusion at present over the federal government's decision to ban live exports of cattle to Indonesia. But unfortunately that problem is likely to spread to Southern Australia over the next week or so as graziers and agents and buyers become more aware of the competitive forces that have now been unleashed by the thousands of cattle that were earmarked to go to Indonesia, which, according to the government's current program, will not be going. What's going to happen to those cattle? Presumably they're going to be dumped on the local market. What opportunities does that present for accountancy firms acting as business advisors to be able to advise clients on the cash flow effects of this? What renegotiations should be taking place with bankers? The business development manager would also be looking at writing appropriate articles for the firm's web presence, blog articles, and identifying clients who are suitable to be offered business advisory services. Organising seminars, discussions with clients who are interested in business advisory services, and then working with the various product champions that we talked about at our last webinar to deliver business advisory services. For those who have not been with us in our previous webinars, we are recommending that you appoint product champions for each of the products that you are going to deliver under business advisory services, whether they be business health checks, budgets and cash flow forecasts, succession planning, buying businesses, selling businesses, etc. We believe to make this process work more efficiently within your accountancy business, you need to have a champion for each product. So that's led me in very nicely to product champions. And in our latest series of material to help firms prepare for business advisory services, we've included a full job description for a product champion. They have to review the A and B class clients, not clan clients. They have to identify clients that services can be provided to. And then the team needs to be trained on the presentation of that product. The champion needs to liaise with the business development manager so that everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet relative to seminars and webinars. And also with the client's permission, it'd be great to create some case history media releases that can also be placed on the firm's web presence and blog articles. Most accountancy businesses will be inclined to appoint a coach, someone to assist them in this diversification into a very interesting range of products. Perhaps in your firm, no one's got the time at a partner or senior manager level to be the person who prepares the team for delivery of business advisory services. Perhaps you should appoint an external coach. Could be an ex-partner, could be an experienced businessman, could be a business consultant. Could be someone from 2020 Asia Pacific, FMRC Smith Inc., Nixon Advantage, or Towers Business Development. So the duties would include helping team members get prepared and the team member training. But in particular the training of the product and industry champions so that these people fully understand all aspects of the advice that they're going to be able to give the clients. How the client interviews are going to be conducted. Understanding the power of the SME needs analysis and training people in to use it properly to have worthwhile discussions with clients on the type of services they're looking for. And you need to remember that various client surveys from the MYOB survey in 2004 onwards have identified very clearly that the vast majority of small medium enterprises in Australia and New Zealand do want their external accountants to supply additional chief financial officer type services to them. And also the coach would be involved in mentoring of the business development manager. So the material in offering business advisory services also includes detailed notes on the market review process. There needs to be an ongoing marketing strategy to promote business advisory services in your marketplace. Doesn't necessarily mean that your firm has to supply all of the products and services. You can select which ones you wish to operate. Indeed, you may have some additional ones which you believe are applicable in your particular market. So the toolkit attached includes a checklist for marketing, which will help you identify the services to be included in the marketing strategy. And we also have included a checklist of conversion rate techniques to help you encourage the clients and prospects to see the benefit of the services to be offered. And there's a marketing hints checklist to give you some encouragement on the sort of strategies that you should be implementing to your clients and prospects for them to commission you to undertake business advisory services. And the market position checklist includes a list of some of the things that you should be concentrating on. Articles, media releases, electronic newsletters, blog articles. And what all this is about is being seen to be adding value to your client's business. The client must be convinced that you have properly prepared yourself and your team so that you can add value. You are going to be asking your client to pay thousands of dollars more for professional services than what they have been used to paying in the past. They will only do this if they are convinced that you are going to assist them to add value to their business. The next item we wish to discuss today is a training program. A training program has been developed for use by partners and team members who are going to be involved in the delivery of business advisory services. This includes benchmarking tools, computer products, the individual business advisory services products as identified in the material, and training for the implementation of a business advisory service. Performance standards. This could form a guarantee that you might give to your client. You might incorporate some of this in the proposal letter. But it's important that you are prepared to make various offers to your client. Traditionally, business advisory type work as conducted by external consultants has normally been done on the basis of a quotation. And we believe that the same approach has to be taken by accountancy businesses offering business advisory services to their clients. In writing, confirm the scope of the project and what you are going to charge for it. and advise the client when it will be finished. Obviously, if it's your fault, you should be acknowledging that you will fix it. The client should be told that the communication will come through the project team. Don't include jargon in the submission to the client or indeed in any of the direct communication with the client. And indicate to clients that any queries or complaints they have will be answered by the team. We've included the checklist for clients for business advisory services. We believe that the accountancy business's role in the delivery of Chief Financial Officer services, which obviously includes business advisory services, is that instead of waiting to write up your client's history months after the end of a financial year, help them to make history by being part of the forward planning team, contributing to tomorrow's activities and successes. So can you deliver what your clients want from their accountancy business? The new age accountancy businesses who are offering business advisory services. We should be offering business advisory services, in our opinion, on the basis that you are targeting that within 3 years, business advisory services will comprise 30 to 40% of your firm's gross income. The founder of Financial Management Research Centre, FMRC, Professor Jeff Meredith, 30 years ago, was indicating that from his research, there was 30 to 40% more fees in the average accountancy business than what they were gaining in revenue. And his advice at that stage was that accountants shouldn't be going out and marketing to other people, but they should be marketing to their own clients and delivering business advisory services. How many fees, or how much in fee dollar terms, do you currently earn from business health checks, business plans, introductory marketing, assisting your clients in bank applications, assisting in buying business, selling business, succession planning, exit planning, budgets, cash flow forecasts? Does it represent anywhere near 30% of your gross income? Think about it. Meredith was talking about this under a scholarship sponsored by the then Society of Accountants and Institute of Chartered Accountants 30 years ago. So can you deliver what clients want from their accountancy businesses? Help to identify their needs and goals. Help to understand their options. Ongoing review of their progress. Don't prepare a budget and a cash flow forecast and leave it with the client and not talk to them again. Make regular contact with them, at least every 2 months, preferably monthly, to review progress. Remember, your client is not a chief financial officer, nor are they an accountant in most cases. They're a business person that's probably working 50, 60, 70 hours a week to advance their business. They need to be able to refer their financial matters to their financial expert. In most cases, your firm. Clients are also looking for some certainty, so price the work up front. You'll have some where you miss out and you could have charged more, but you'll have others where you finish up in front. The main thing is you're offering a great service. If you're not already offering bundled service and fixed price agreements, we would suggest that now is a good time to think about it. And we don't see bundled services or fixed price agreements as being an excuse to exploit clients or overcharge them. What we believe it is a means of offering your client a total Chief Financial Officer service. And obviously you can deliver them in different levels. But we believe the one you should be aspiring to convince all of your A-class clients to accept is a gold package. This would cover the annual accounts, taxation return, regular newsletters. But then the Chief Financial Officer's role would kick in. Mandatory business health checks, 3 or 4 times per annum. Monitor the quarterly or half-yearly accounts, budgets, cash flow forecasts. Review their performance against benchmarks. Perhaps benchmark businesses with other competing businesses in a local area. Maybe you need to form a network with a number of accounting firms to achieve this. But wouldn't it be great to be able to have a survey done in specific regional areas or sections of a city, so that your clients have got the benefit of the same sort of material that big businesses got? Don't you think that Woolworths compare how each of their supermarkets perform in various geographical areas of Australia? Wouldn't it be great to be able to make something similar available to your small, medium enterprise clients? Use your imagination. Think about it. Having discussions with banks, making sure that your client is getting the best deal possible from banks. Those of you who have worked in public companies will probably know that it's very rare for the CEO to go off and do the negotiations with the bank. Sure, he might go on the final meeting to sign the documents, but he expects his CFO, Chief Financial Officer, to do that. Why is small business any different? As part of the gold package, you should be also giving the gold clients priority access to work turnaround. But don't make ridiculous offers, especially when it comes to business advisory services. Some of these projects might take 2 months to complete. Don't go telling clients you can do it in 10 days. And obviously, other nominated business advisory services that are suitable and are required by that particular gold client. And you can offer other services to your silver and bronze clients who avail themselves of the silver and bronze packages. And those packages are included in the tools. Written procedures. We believe that business advisory services to be properly delivered required written systems for each product. You need to understand how to use the SME needs analysis to help clients identify their requirements. We have developed over 60 forms, checklists, as part of the 3 packages of taking accountancy firms through the basic preparation to offer business advisory services. But the most important document of all, the most important form, is the SME needs analysis. You need to make sure your team can use that sort of document, and ours is modelled on the FMRC Smith Inc. needs analysis. We've just expanded it in certain areas, particularly to do with business advisory services. But we believe it's the most important tool to use in discussions with your clients to help them to articulate to you what they would like your firm to do for them. And don't get caught by a client asking you to give you a price there and then. Document what their requirements are and indicate that within a few days you will have a further meeting with them. And by that time you should have prepared a written proposal of the work to be undertaken, a cost estimate, a payment proposal, and a timetable. If the client agrees for the work to commence by a certain date, as to when it will be finished. So you can then sit down and talk to the client. And what we will be suggesting to you is that in most cases, the first thing you then do is basically have a workshop meeting with the client. So go through what they've identified in the SME needs analysis, and then have a half-day or full-day workshop approach, a think tank involving the client and their key people in trying to get as much buy-in as possible into the issues of this business. We believe the accountancy firm needs to be establishing itself as being part of the key management team advising the client. And therefore, you need to have some buy-in. In the tools, there is a workflow process which summarises the whole approach to offering business advisory services, covering things like team training, client surveys, mock interviews. Make your team members decide who the client is and who the advisor is, and have proper dress rehearsal interviews. You cannot afford to get this wrong when you are meeting with a client. And in this way, the team will be far better prepared for the client meeting. And try to involve 2 or 3 members of the team in those client meetings. One should be taking the minutes and therefore developing the action plan, and the others can learn. And more importantly, what that will be assisting is indicating to the client that your accountancy business is indeed interested in their well-being, in their progress, in how you are going to assist them to add value to their business. Recently I was involved in a survey of clients, and one of the biggest complaints was, we don't believe the accountancy team understand our business. They never come to our premises. They never send us any information relative to our particular industries that they've noted in newspapers or journals or articles. If they don't do any of those things, how do we know they understand our business? And we're just not another set of profit and loss accounts and balance sheets, and ultimately a tax return. I honestly believe that's fair comment from clients. And one way of trying to change that attitude from clients is to have your team persons present, not just the partner or the senior manager, 2 or 3 others, especially in the workshop, and especially at this early stage where some of this is still staff training. You don't have to charge for it all. But if you're going to get those team members to be willing, eager participants in the delivery of business advisory services, you need to expose them to the reality of face-to-face meetings with the clients. And we believe the other benefit of this, the real important benefit, is that clients will observe your team members being there, and hopefully the client will start to appreciate that your accountancy business, at least, is trying to ensure that the accounting persons have been appropriately trained and are aware of the issues of the client's business. Obviously, in the workflow process, the SME needs analysis gets mentioned again. You need a written proposal. You need to then undertake the assignment in accordance with the timetable and as professionally as possible, and then prepare a final report. Submit it to the client. But please don't let the action finish there. In your quotation, factor in at least a further 3 to 6 months, 1 meeting a month for 3 to 6 months to mentor the implementation of the action plan. There are a lot of business plans prepared around Australia every week, and most of them are not implemented because there is no ongoing mentoring to assist the client to implement. Indeed, a major government program has recently started to hire consultants, and I'm one of them, who are experienced business mentors to in fact revisit some of their clients from a year ago who availed themselves of the government program to receive financial assistance for the preparation of a business plan and other documentation for the purpose of mentoring to see how well the client has gone on the implementation of the action plan contained within the business plan or whatever other document it was. This is acknowledgement by the Enterprise Connect program that just preparing a business plan and handing it back to a client is not enough. Factor into the agreement that you will then act as a mentor. My suggestion, budget 2 hours a month. The government programs are allowing 1.5 hours. It's not enough. 2 hours a month to sit down with a client and go through the action plan. In my own personal experience, I found that some of the clients claimed they had not had the time to look at the business plan in the 12-month period since it had originally been written. But they found time to sit down with me as the mentor. And hopefully, with some encouragement and follow-up phone calls, over the 6-month period, they will properly implement the action plan that they agreed to a year ago. So your website is also crucial to the delivery of business advisory services. Just don't let it concentrate on tax and accounting and audit type issues. Business advisory service should be a very large segment, probably not the largest, but will be a clear number 2 in most accountancy businesses. So you need to be including articles on business advisory services, some video clips of seminars, even video clips of training sessions with your team members, so you can show your clients that you are serious about training. And don't forget all this as a tool to help you recruit and retain outstanding accountants. There's an article in yesterday's Financial Review which is talking about the problems that the top 20 firms in Australia, the firms below the Big Four, claim they're experiencing in gaining and retaining outstanding young accountants. By offering business advisory services and promoting on your website and in other ways that you're offering business advisory services, this will help you in attracting those talented accountants who don't want to do tax returns all day. So include in it video clips, testimonials, and other things. So how do you sell business advisory services? Within ESS BizTools, we have a full segment of material on this. But you need to listen. You need to show empathy. You need to show the client that you've got some basic understanding of their business and that you understand the problem. And you have a solution or an ability to help them solve the problem. There's no doubt about it, you need some product knowledge. Years ago, I worked in the meat industry as a chief financial officer. I spent countless hours in abattoirs, boning rooms, freezer stores, on the wharves seeing where the meat went, trying to understand what that industry was all about. That was for a chief financial officer's role. You probably don't have to go into as deep as that, but your people need to have some product knowledge on what their clients are doing. Visit their premises. Visit their competitors' premises. Make some notes for them. And obviously you need to believe in the product and service you're delivering. You need to have your team members that believe in what you're trying to deliver. If you believe that this is just a rush to earn some extra dollars in your accountancy business, I for one would prefer you didn't proceed any further. Please go into this on the basis that you are offering a service that your clients require to enable them to grow and expand in their business. Now you might say to me, Peter, we're busy. Well, I was an accountant in public practice for 23 years also. I don't think I ever had a day that I could have ever said I wasn't busy. But it's amazing through delegation and throwing some stuff out at times, and perhaps reorganizing your clients, you can find time. In the economic uncertainties of the middle of 2011, your clients need business advisory services. When you see major retailers with 140 stores going into administration and then closing 140 stores, they've obviously got more, you start to realize the magnitude of the problems that are going on in the wider business area. Insolvencies in the month of April were the highest this year. And they included retailers and, surprise, surprise, mining industry companies. Don't believe the headlines. Everything is not gold trimmed in the mining industry. Remember, you're the finance expert. That's why your clients come to you. You should be able to advise them on what they need. And we hope the selling guide, which is part of the tools, will help you sell these services. Now, is your accountancy business ready? I can hear you asking me. Well, if you wait until you're 100% ready, you're going to miss the boat. I think 80% preparedness is good enough. You're not going to go in and offer every business advisory service that we've talked about in this series of webinars. Start off with business health checks and take it from there. Then a think tank meeting whereby you work through our one-day business review workshop. I'd be amazed if that does not identify enough work to keep you very busy for the next 12 months. But don't wait until your competition down the road's offering business advisory services, or your clients being approached by one of the business coaching franchises that seem to be springing up all over Australasia, or another accountant. Because if they are and they decide to go to those other organisations, they may also decide that they should transfer their taxation work. Because the clients are looking for your input. Start the process now. Why not plan an interview of your staff for next week? Start talking to clients. Our material includes questionnaires to engage with the clients, find out what they want. But a word of warning, once you start talking to clients, I believe you are going to be on a requirement to implement. Because based on the surveys I've conducted and I've seen what other people have conducted, a significant number of your clients will want this service. And to quote a client comment recently that I read, well, now that you've told me you're interested in all this, I'll be closely watching you to make sure you implement it. Perhaps you need a coach. You need to train your partners and staff. Appoint champions. Once you've done all that, you're ready to have a seminar presentation training, do a mock seminar training, and make sure once again you familiarise your team with the SME needs analysis. If you do nothing else, incorporate business health checks into your final review meetings for the forthcoming financial year accounts. Some of your clients you will not be able to address through seminars. They won't go to them, or they'll be embarrassed. Hold one-on-one discussions with them. Prepare a written proposal and start the process. Now, our final webinar in this series is on next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be a summary of the 3 webinars that we've conducted on getting ready for business advisory services. So you can book for that webinar by going to our website. Now, we have a special offer. If you subscribe to ESS BizTools before the 30th of June, there is a 10% discount for subscribers. And our gold subscription price will therefore be $5,000 in the first year, including GST, and $2,376 including GST for a silver subscriber. But we're also offering free admission to 20 free coaching webinars, which we're commencing on Tuesday the 12th of July at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And these webinars are going to be for about 20 minutes each, and then we're allowing 10 minutes for question time to go through each aspect. First of all, quickly going through the getting ready aspect once again, and then going through the delivery of the various products. So I'm putting on the screen there now the titles of the 20 free coaching webinars. You can find the dates that we're going to present those webinars on the ESS BizTools website. And we hope that having completed those coaching webinars, you'll be in a far better position to be able to deliver business advisory services. So as you can see, there's a wide range of subjects headings for those 20 free seminars. There's the prices again. Thank you for participating in this webinar. If you haven't got any queries, hey, can you hear me now? We seem to have had some problems then with the network connection for the last minute or so. Our apologies for that. What I was saying was hopefully you will find these services of benefit to your firm, and we'd love to hear from you. If you've got any queries, please send us an email or telephone call. We got any? No question, no hands up. So thank you very much for participating in this webinar today. We look forward to your participation. We look forward to you agreeing to become a member of ESS BizTools, and then for you to participate in this wonderful journey starting on the 12th of July.